Hello again, Martin W. Francis. Last week I talked to you about balance. This week I want to expand on that. At the moment we're at Port Elliot, looking back at Victor Harbour. I was at a local hardware store on the weekend and I walked by the opening and there were all these sunflowers. And I thought, I've seen lots of pictures of sunflowers, but I've never actually looked at them, in reality. And I was interested to see if I could see that Fibonacci spiral. And it actually was there. So if you're not aware of what Fibonacci is, the Fibonacci sequence, then please look it up in Google. There's a lot of information on it. It's everywhere. It's everywhere from the sunflower seeds to spiral galaxies. It's quite bizarre when you look into it that such a sequence exists throughout the world and the universe. So with a ratio of 1.618, the golden mean, as I said before, is everywhere. So if we look at this tree, you can see here that where these branches break off, and then if you look at this point here where this branch is, and then the next one after that, you can start seeing a pattern repeating itself. And if you look through this tree, you'll see that in many areas. Even with my body, you look at my hand, this is a cubit, okay? And then if you look at the size of my hand to the total length of the cubit, which is about 18 inches, you can see that this ratio is applying even to myself. So let's go back to the studio now, and I can show you how to do this on some paper. Okay, welcome back. We're in our studio at the moment. So what I wanted to do is demonstrate a little bit about how you find the golden mean. This is something that Jocelyn taught me, and her father taught her, and he's hitting 90 now. So you can imagine how far back this goes, perhaps all the way back to the Angry Penguins, and that might be something you want to check out. You'll be surprised who were members of that group. Anyway, coming here, first of all, just got to crack this paper. So as a printmaker, I was always told never to cut paper, always to tear it. So I'm doing that now. Just put that over there for a little while. So what you've basically got to do is you've got to draw a diagonal from one corner to another. Now, of course, I'm doing this line a lot thicker for demonstration purposes. You would normally just do a nice little thin line so you wouldn't see it too much. And what you need to do then is to find the corner and go 90 degrees to it. So, and then just make a mark there. And then the same with the other side. Okay, so there's a mark there. So technically, between these two marks is your golden mean. Also, bearing in mind, you can also make these focal points as well. Now, it just doesn't have to be on the left side, of course. It can be also on the right side. So if I do it on this side here, mark there. And a mark there. Again, there's your golden mean. It's just on the right hand side this time. And if you wanted to make focal points, you've got those. And that's how you find it. What I also wanted to talk about is point, which is one of the first elements of design. So if you can just come around and have a look. We've got a blank piece of paper here. It doesn't have to be rectangular, it could be square. The main thing is the picture plane is empty. So because of that, anyone looking at this has nowhere for your eyes to go. So that's until I put a mark here, and you'll see immediately that your eyes will go to this mark, even though it's quite small relative to the rest of the picture plane. It just screams out, "Look at me." Now, of course, you don't have to have just one mark. You can have a number of marks, and all of a sudden we start seeing a texture starting to form. And of course you can modulate this to create tone, and it's done in newspapers all the time with halftone prints. It also can suggest motion. So if you can imagine the ants crawling along and they find something, and as we know what ants do, they congregate around whatever they have found. And all of a sudden, just from dots, we're telling a story. Okay? The other thing that's happening here is you're starting to create a line by joining the dots, so to speak. Now, I'm doing this with a pen, but your mind always wants to do that, even if there isn't a line there. It makes the link between one point and another, and that's how we create a curvilinear line without actually drawing the line. Now, if you have a look over here at Jocelyn's watercolor, she has used this idea of points. They're sort of turning into a shape, but I still see them as points. And these points are telling a story. These people are looking at that umbrella, and you may ask yourself, why is that happening? Anyway, the point is the first element of design, and as we progress through these videos, I'm going to progress through the 7 elements, and next week I'll be looking at line, both drawn and inferred, and shape. Thank you. Hello, Martin W. Francis here. Just about to do another video. Is that okay, Jocelyn?